all of this happened just because I went into Karthus' jungle and... What's up, everybody? So I played this game a couple days ago, and I did a really cool level 2 path that allowed me to shut down the Karthus very early and really mess up his clear, and then I dominated him for the entire rest of the game, and all of it was just because of this one decision I made at level 2. At level 1, against a full clearing jungler, you want to know where they start, because it's important to disrupt their full clear. A champion like Karthus, full clearing is his win condition, so I'm disrupting his win condition by disrupting his clear, basically. And to do that, I need to know where he is. So level 1, run in here, place a ward, recall. There are 2 different versions of this path that I'm considering. The first is if Karthus starts here. So if Karthus starts here, I eat my red, I go here, I hop this wall, and then I run straight to his blue and kill him while he's on Gromp. I won't make it there for the blue, but that doesn't matter because I'll get him when he's on Gromp. The second version of this path is if I start here and Karthus starts here, and I will know where he's starting based on this ward, because like either he's starting here or starting here. Karthus doesn't typically like to start chickens or wolves because all he wants to do is do this, basically. Like every Karthus player just wants to start a buff and then do this, and then either go for a crab or just recall and then do it again. My goal for this early game is just to disrupt that. That's the first and most important thing in my mind. So if Karthus had started here, what I would have done is clear red, go over here, clear the Krugs, go here, and then run here and meet him at his blue or his wolves. And whichever one of these camps I meet him at, I'm going to kill him at because I'm much stronger level 3 and he won't be level 4 yet. If I were to see that he didn't start blue and that would indicate he started red, I clear these 3 camps and then I walk like this and then I meet him right here. I'm not going to walk like this because I might miss him just barely here. Karthus clears extremely quickly and I'm going to be here around 240, 250, and it's actually possible that he could have cleared all 4 of these camps by then. So it's important for me to try to meet him at the blue and not at the wolves. Even if he has time to clear 4 camps and does have a 1 camp lead on me when I meet him, it won't be enough for him to get level 4. So he like won't be able to fight me. So level 1, I clear my camp, I see that he starts the blue, so immediately I cue this wall. The preconditions for a champion to do this path is basically just being able to skip this wall. If a champion can't skip this wall, there's another version of this path that I've made a video about where you start chickens and then you go to the blue and the Gromp and you try to meet them on the Gromp. That works on champions that can clear chickens easily level 1, but Kindred cannot do that. So on Kindred, I start red, cue the wall, and then run in. And then I meet the Karthus. He's on his Gromp. He has no smite. He's forced to flash. I clear the Gromp, and then I flash over to see if I can find him because I have Q. If I didn't have Q, I would not have flashed because I wouldn't have caught him. But because I did have flash, and I had another Q after to make sure I could gap close, and he was low enough, I decided to follow with my flash. So I could try to take his wolves here, but what could happen if I try to take his wolves is that Karthus from base basically just does this, and he runs into my blue side and starts to clear these camps. It's less likely for a Karthus to do this, but a good jungler, if you meet them in this side of the jungle and then you overstay to clear this camp, they're just going to do this and clear these camps, or at least attempt to. By recalling here and skipping the wolves, I'm going to defend my camps. I canceled my recall. I was like on the fence. I think the right call here is to just recall, run back to bot side and start sequencing my camps down here. So what I'm probably going to do is start just getting my camps to reset. You can reach any rank you want. All you need is information. I can teach you the concepts and mindset that I learned while climbing to masters so you can do the same. Whether you love the game or just want to impress your friends, anything is possible with the information I've collected for you in my jungle guide. If you're ready to take control of your rank today, check out the link in the description. I can be reasonably confident that Karthus is on the bot side of the map because he has 1 camp available top side, which is the wolves, but he has 2 camps available bot side because he hasn't cleared it yet. We can see it in the replay, but from base, he ran right to here, took the red, and then he eats chickens, and he's probably going to circle back around to Krugs or run to his wolves. He went like this, which is super inefficient from him. He started on the inside of the map and pathed to the outside, which means that he's now on the outside of the map and he can either recall and run to his top side from base, or he's forced to run all the way like this to get to his top side and basically just rerun this distance here that he just ran. So like whenever you're clearing like this, you always want to start on the outside and clear in, because then you can go like this, basically. Yeah, like you have a lot of options open to you on the map, whereas if you do this, then you have like way fewer options, and to get to the top side of the map, you have to go like all the way back. So I couldn't find a play for the chickens, so I just go back into my jungle, take these camps, and then instead of trying to look for anything else, because there's nothing else to really look for, like Callison has no kill pressure, my bot lane is pushed in, their bot lane's recalled, there's nothing for me to do, so I'm just going to recall and run to my top side. Typically, I would have just run to my Krugs here, because most of the time the other jungler will have taken this crab because I got the bot bot crab. But in this situation, I assumed that he had taken it, which is why I took chickens first, but he didn't actually take it. So I ended up just running into the river to like eat this crab, and now I can go back into my jungle to collect my Krugs. And I guess in this case, because I'm so much stronger than Karthus, I opted to just skip the Krugs, which is less efficient for my clear. But in this case, I'm pretty far ahead. I want to snowball my lead. The grubs are here. This was a safe time for me to take them. So I just take them, recall, and then run back on the map to my bot side. So then I see a fight happening here. My support kills Karthus and my mark spawns on chickens. Let's look at the map state here a little bit. Their jungler's dead, but Vel'Koz is in the area and Fizz is super low. So like this is an extremely safe place for us to be. Fizz griefed a little bit. My Hwei also griefed slightly. We just barely couldn't kill anyone, and I somehow make this insane escape. This was definitely an overstay by me. I should have left right here. Right here. I've already gotten the camp. We're 2v2. There's no need to risk it. I guess I don't have a shutdown, but I'm ahead. I don't really need to risk my lead. I should have just left right here and just ran this way. But instead, I overextend a little bit, almost die, barely survive. Honestly, if my Kassadin didn't leave me, we definitely double killed here, but whatever. Either way, I should have left earlier because my Kassadin did leave me. And now I think actually the best play here would have been to run in, eat my red, so clear the red, and then instantly go to dragon, or recall and then go to dragon. I am ahead of their jungler. I want to snowball my lead, so I don't want to be taking my camps because clearing my camps doesn't win me the game. What wins me the game is taking objectives and denying Karthus camps. And ganking lanes. But like the two most important things in my mind right now are objectives and denying Karthus camps. But in this case, because I do have bot pressure, this isn't the worst thing in the world, because it's not like Karthus can just run and start taking this dragon. So by clearing my topside camps, I do make it very efficient for me to just recall and run to dragon, which is probably what I'll do next. So yeah, I recall. My bot lane's fighting, take the dragon, their mid laner dies, and now I see that the chickens are respawning, and like, I have 2 camps up, but I don't care about my camps. If I can take 1 camp from the enemy, that's more worth it than taking both of my camps, because I can take my camps later. They have 0 urgency on them. They're my camps, they're safe in my jungle most of the time. Obviously, sometimes if you leave your camps up for a while, they will get counter jungled, but in this case, Karthus can't really invade me because he is losing lanes and he's extremely far behind. So I walk in, get some vision, wait for my Hwei. Right here, I paused because I was hoping that the mark would spawn on the chickens, because at this time I have 3 marks. Before 4 marks, the marks can only spawn on crabs, grump, or raptors. So I paused here before the raptors to see if the mark would spawn on them, but unfortunately it went on the grump, which means that I just clear the raptors and I just accept that like all I get is the counter jungle. But that's still pretty good. So I clear the raptors, and then I see that, or honestly this was just a good call from my support. Kill the smolders, he comes back to lane, we do that. We look for Vel'Koz as well. Vel'Koz dies. Now I recall, run the top side. At this state in the game, their top laner has Prio. Irelia is 0-2, but she is actually probably stronger than my Darius. She's up 20 CS. So I don't really feel a lot of urgency to fight these. I think what I do here is super grief. What I should actually have done in this state is just give the worms. We got the first 3. That's good enough. I have a huge jungle lead. We're winning like everywhere. This is risky for 0 reason. I go in. I just barely live, and then I think my team cleans up a bit. But this was super risky. If I want to fight this, what I should do is just wait for my team to walk over. Instead of going in here, I just wait for my Darius, my Hwei, and my Kassadin to be able to collapse, and then we just kill them after they take the grubs. But instead, I decided to queue in and risk giving 700 gold to them. I basically escaped through luck. This was a terrible decision. Don't do this. Just give the grubs. But I do survive. I want to play to bot lane because I don't really need to play for top side because my Darius is winning. So I am pathing to bot, but my Ezreal isn't that far ahead, so I wouldn't necessarily say he's the win condition. It's more that I'm the win condition, and their bot lane is just particularly easy to abuse with Hwei and Ezreal and Kindred. So I eat my top camps and then I start running down. I see that my team is like very far up here, which means I can very safely go to these Krugs. So I eat the Krugs, get the mark, show up to the fight, help my team out a little bit, and then I go eat the chickens. Oh, I don't eat the chickens. I eat Fizz and then I eat the chickens. And now I can't see him just through understanding jungle fundamentals. If Karthus dies here and he has no camps up down here, it's basically guaranteed that he is going to go to his top side and clear these 2 camps. So in my mind, I know that he's top side, but there's nothing really for me to do. I don't need to defend my bot side from ganks because again, Karthus is top side. There's no mid gank to go for. I don't need to be with my team as they're hitting plates. So I just go back into my jungle and clear my camps. Ideally, my chickens would be up. I don't remember exactly what their sequencing is. Instead of running to my Krugs, clears, what I'm doing is I'm delaying both of these camps so that I can clear them together. Because right now there's a play for me to go to at the dragon and this red. In general, when you're clearing, you want to clear your camps in pairs. So you clear your top side camps together and you clear your bot side camps together. The buffs don't matter as much. It's mostly just Gromp and Wolves and Krugs and Raptors that you want to clear together. But because I don't have time to clear both of these camps and I have a play to go for, I just leave them both and I go bot side for dragon and the red buff. Whenever you're going for a play on the side of the maps, you start by extending out to the maximum. So in this example, dragon is not up, but if dragon were up, like let's say dragon's alive and this is still the mid state, this is still the bot state, I always want to start by counter jungling these camps because they're the most aggressive thing. And the timer to be able to safely get these is much shorter than the timer to safely get the dragon because the dragon is positioned pretty evenly in the map. But these camps are much further up, so it's important to start with the thing that is furthest up and also the most risky. And in the actual hierarchy, again, if the dragon was up, it's actually still more valuable for me to clear these camps before going to the dragon because clearing these camps swings jungle gold by like 600 because I get plus 300 and he gets minus 300. So I only gained 300 gold, but because he's losing 300 from not being able to eat these camps, it's actually a 600 gold swing in jungle, which is 2 kills. Like that's so much gold. Counter jungling camps is like the most important thing to do as a jungler. Another risky fight down here. I might die from this one. I barely live again. That's the 3rd time that I've made a very aggressive play and barely survived. But this one is a little less egregious because I had Kindredar and my team was there. But the play I made here and the play I made at Void Grubs were still pretty grief. But I take the dragon. We're up 2 dragons. We have 4 grubs. My team is pretty far up. Maybe I should stay with them. In fact, there's probably, yeah, this was actually a bad recall. What I should have done is take the dragon and then run in, clear his chickens, and then clear his Krugs. That's what I should have done. They weren't up when I initially walked into the jungle to clear the red, which is why I didn't take them then. But because they're up now, I should have just walked in, cleared these camps, and then recalled and gone back to base and gone topside. Even if I'm trying to get back on the map to eat Herald, Herald is worth less than 2 or 3 jungle camps. Like Herald it has value because you can take tier 2s with it. And like there are exposed tier 2s for us to take with it, but like Herald will be here. Being at Herald 30 seconds sooner in a game where the enemy team can't force Herald does not matter. It would have been much more valuable for me to take these 2 camps and clear these and then recall and then go to Herald. I see that there's this Fizz that's being a little greedy here, so I divert my pathing from my camps or Herald, kill the Fizz first, and then I clear Crab to get control of the area. Whenever you're taking an objective, it's always like important to kill the Crab first if the Crab is present. It is a small use of time, so in some scenarios, if you have an extremely limited amount of time to take a Baron, you don't want to take the Crab because it takes you time that you could be putting into the Baron itself. But in a situation where you're just trying to control the river and like the enemy team can't super easily contest you and like a 5-second difference doesn't make that big of a difference for the overall play, it is typically better to clear the crabs first because it just makes it safer. It basically takes the river, which is a neutral space, and makes it like a red side river basically because you just have free move speed here. So take the Herald. I know from my Darius walking here that this Gromp is up, so I take the Gromp. I check the Wolves. I do have my camps up, but again, I don't care about my camps. There's like more important stuff for me to do in the game. If I ran back and cleared my camps, it would be giving Karthus time to impact the map and impact the game. I don't want that. I want him to stay 50 CS down on me forever. So I'm just going to take his camps. We get 2 kills topside, take the tier 2. My support and I extend for the tier 3, but he messes up and dies. So I just leave. And I think now finally is a time where I can clear all my camps because like looking at the map, this mid wave is even. Bot wave is pushing in, but this is under the tower, so it's going to start bouncing back. Like, we don't have anyone far up topside on the map. Well, I guess in this case, my intention probably was to clear these 2 camps, but I saw that this fight was happening, so I just ignore these and run straight to the fight. Because it always matters more to go to the fight, the camps will be there. In this case, I don't think my going to the fight actually impacted it. Never mind, I killed Bakaz. Okay. But in general, even if you end up not being able to swing a fight in any particular direction, it's still worth it to go to the fight because a lot of the time you will be able to swing it and you'll create scenarios where you lose games and lose random team fights just to not showing up, which is just terrible. You don't want to do that. We take the tier 2. Again, playing for the camps. My entire jungle has been up for minutes at this point. I just don't care. I take his camps. I push this wave in. I just barely kill Aurelia. This was a like very risky 1v1 to go for. I have Merc Treads, which do nothing against Aurelia, but I do manage to come out on top, take my recall. And I think now what I'll probably do, the most efficient thing to do in this scenario is just going to be basically doing this. So from base, I run to the Krugs, I clear these camps, go down here, clear these camps, and then walk to dragon. And this will get me like 600 gold, and then I'll be here for the dragon as it spawns. And if there's nothing else for me to do in the game, then that's what I'll do. But in this case, I felt more urgency. So The scenario in which it would be worth it to clear these camps is if my team was dead or my team wasn't extended this far on the map. Basically, if there was nothing for me to do, then it is worth it to clear those camps. But because my team is extending, I want to be with them because I can clear these camps with my team. So it is worth it for me to skip these camps. But I do take the red because red buff is really strong for skirmishes and I wanted to have it before I got on the map. I should have taken these Krugs before the dragon. This is a mistake. I didn't know that they were up, but I should have taken those first. But I do probably take them after. No. Never mind, I guess Darius takes them. And in this scenario, I'm positioning around Baron. Like now, as soon as Baron spawns, the entire game changes because this is a game-ending objective. Dragons are like useful, but stacking 3 dragons doesn't actually win you the game. It only is like a game-winning objective at like 4 dragons. As soon as Baron is on the map and you're up this much gold, you literally just run to Baron at 20 minutes, get vision control. If anyone walks up too far, you sprint at them and kill them. And then in this case, Aurelia was too far up, so we killed the Aurelia. I think there's a team fight that will happen in their jungle. Oh, I forgot that this play went so bad, actually. Let's actually watch it slowly at like 1x speed so we can see what actually happened. It looks like we're getting poked out. At this point, we probably should have just left because like Ezreal's low, Kassadin's low, Hui is low. I'm the only one that's full HP here, which actually probably means that this play is my fault because I'm the one going in. Oh, actually, never mind. This play is probably fine. I just got one shot faster than I expected, so I couldn't R fizz damage. So the big mistake for me here was not pressing R, because if I press R, we would have killed them all. So now I understand. So we all die, kind of unfortunate, but we do also kill 3 of them. So it's kind of an even trade, even though an even trade is not worth it when you're ahead. But because it's an even trade, it's early enough in the game that they're not that strong. They can't actually take Baron, so they don't really gain anything from that play. And just like before, Baron is the most important thing to do on the map. So from base, I run literally straight back to the Baron because like we may have just made a bit of a mistake, but I still know I'm a 3-item Kindred. We have a Darius, we have an Ezreal, we have a Hui. They cannot walk into us and we can shred this Baron. And Darius is tanky enough that we can do it safely too. In this case, I saw that they were up too far and my entire team was here. This is when they have now positioned illegally. Fizz is here, Vel'Koz is here. Like, look where their team is. Karthus is here, Aurelia is here. This is illegal positioning. They are not allowed to do this. So instead of starting the Baron, I just run in and start looking for them. My team's starting the Baron, but like when we actually get vision confirming this position, everything else stops mattering because these are 2 free kills. And then getting these 2 kills will also guarantee that we can easily get Baron. So my Kassadin starts fighting. He's fine. He's not going to die to Fizz. I go in first, kill Vel'Koz because he's the one that's furthest away, and I turn onto the Fizz and we kill Fizz quickly too. And now that these 2 are dead, we can very easily take Baron. So we run, take the Baron. Typically you would want to recall after taking Baron, but in this scenario there's like 2 people dead still, so we have a lot of tempo, so I can kind of cheat my tempo by staying on the map to take these camps. And then I know that his bot side camps are up, so I go bot side and kill him in his bot side. And now like they have 2 dead again. At this point, if we were 5v5, if we were in a different game and Aurelia wasn't rage splitting and we were just 5v5 here, it would probably be worth it for me to recall because I'm probably on 3,000 or 4,000 gold right now. But because 2 are dead and we do have our waves pushed up pretty far, it's worth it for me to stay on the map because there's more I can get. Kassadin kills Fizz. It looks like the game will probably end here. All of this happened just because I go into his jungle, I kill him, and I take his camp, and then the game is over. Like, the entire game just ends from there. Hope you learned something. See you next time.